So when I entered the PhD program at Capella University, the PhD in Public Service Leadership and Nonprofit Management, there's three, because it's an online program, you're required to attend 3 colloquia. And first colloquia in Dallas, we walk in, we sit down, group leader comes up and he says, okay, and literally first question out of his mouth, second semester student here, what's your dissertation topic? And I looked at him and I said, we are 3 years from this. And he said, no, you need to decide now, and you're going to go back to your hotel tonight and you're going to write an outline. So I thought, okay, let's talk about how teens select volunteer positions. And I thought, this is great. And I found a bunch of research to support the idea. And I showed it to the guy leading the group, Dr. William Dish, and he said, he said, this is great, and I know somebody that can help you out. And we had also selected some mentor bios, some folks that we were interested in talking to. And one of those gals was there, and so I showed her the topic, and she said, here's the thing, great topic, but if you ever want to graduate, don't study youth. And she said, the reason you don't study youth as a student is because they're what's called a protected population, and there's all sorts of paperwork and red tape you have to jump through. And she said, if you want to study youth, she said, do it after you graduate, but get your degree, and so study seniors. And I said, oh man, this is not, I don't want to study seniors. I mean, I love older people, that's not the problem. I didn't have the passion for it, and she said, you do that. So I started reading, and I found a passion for it. As I wrote and researched, I realized that the way that different generations look at volunteerism could be very different. So this had never come up, and so I started to read. I started with the Greatest Generation. I started with the baby boomers, the generations that I was really comfortable with, and learned there were some differences. And I started to look at millennials, which I'm an old millennial, and really started to see some differences and talked about those. And then I found what we call Generation Alpha, which is our kids that are just getting ready to turn 10 years old. And I wrote a whole chapter on them because I realized that if we as adults and even young millennials, Gen Zs, if we don't start to listen to alphas, we're going to have a huge problem because they are doing stuff now at even as young as 4 years old. They tell a story in the book about a 4-year-old boy that wanted to feed the homeless and did it. So that's the other big takeaway. Really, I thought a lot about this actually. It really targets, probably somebody that's 14 or 15 years old and up. If you're 14 or 15 reading the book, I think there's going to be a little bit of a bigger learning curve, just because there is some highly academic stuff in there. We talk about the theory of planned behavior, we talk about the model, we talk about Maslow's hierarchy of needs. I mean, those are things that at 14, 15 years old you probably haven't heard of. But then again, there are adults that don't know about those things. So it really could run the other way. But 15 years old and up, great, take it. And that's why I wrote about the different generations, is I want people of all ages to take it and apply it to their lives, apply it to their generation.